Tonight, our in-depth coverage turns to the elephants in the room at the state capitol, in particular Governor Kevin Stitt and State Superintendent Ryan Walters. The longtime political allies clashed today after Stitt dismissed a majority of the State Board of Education and replaced them with people he says will make the agency less political and more education-focused. Citing years of political controversies, negative rankings in multiple categories, and poor test scores, Governor Kevin Stitt dismissed 3 members of the State Board of Education and appointed 3 new ones to refocus the board on what he says are education policies. In a statement, Stitt said, quote, "After months of headlines followed by disappointing NAEP scores, this month, it's clear that our education infrastructure has fallen prey to needless political drama. If we want to be the best state for business, we need to make sure our kids have a path to success. It's time for some fresh eyes and a renewed focus on our top 10 goals." The statement is a clear shift in how the governor and his office handles education. For 2 years, the governor has deferred all concerns and questions about anything happening with OSDE to State Superintendent Ryan Walters and his staff.
The oversight deal is a weird deal because in Oklahoma, we have a separately elected superintendent of education, okay? Other states, Florida, for example, the governor selects his superintendent of education. That's what's so weird about Oklahoma. Oklahoma wants Governor Stitt to fix education, but then my hands are tied behind my back.
Over the last 2 years, the state board has supported without question Walters and various political desires centered around combating what he calls wokeness, in addition to Walters' Bible purchases and many attempts to increase teaching Christianity in public schools, tying it to U.S. history. Fights with state lawmakers, fights with the Attorney General's office over board counsel, and most recently, asking for immigration status for anyone enrolling in Oklahoma public schools. Stitt's office says all of this happened while Oklahoma fell to 49th in education, and schools statewide have collectively shown little to no improvement in reading or math scores. Walters posted on X, quote, "Governor Stitt has joined the swampy political establishment that President Trump is fighting against. The board members that stood with us, working with the Trump administration to make our schools safer and better, have been fired for political purposes. Every Oklahoman should be clear this move undermines Oklahoma kids and parents and an America First agenda. Stitt believes the federal government, and not the people, need to continue to control our country. This is disappointing, but not surprising. We'll keep fighting for school choice, parents, kids, and our teachers." But the board isn't the only shakeup at OSDE. When reporters reached out to Communications Director Dan Isaac for comment, he said he resigned from his post Monday. A post in the same communications department that produced this video vowing OSDE was going to crack down on illegal immigration during the 2024 presidential election. The 3 new board members need state Senate approval before they can be seated and get to work. The state school board's next meeting isn't for another 2 weeks. It's not clear if confirmation will come in time. If it does not, there are not enough board members in place to form a majority to take action on anything. This is the first in major public rift between 2 men who have, for the most part in the last 3 years, been political allies publicly on many issues. Walters was Oklahoma's education secretary under Stitt in 2020 and came into his administration from the nonprofit sector to help make policy about COVID, education, and how to spend federal education funds. Stitt then personally endorsed and campaigned for Walters in 2022, that you see here for the state superintendent's race, to replace Joy Hoffmeister, who was term limited in that post and switched parties to run for governor against Stitt. Stitt's press secretary Meyer Siegfried responded to Walters' tweet on X saying, with 4 pictures saying Stitt's relationship with President Donald Trump is strong, and posted pictures where Stitt has actually met with Trump either at the White House, at the inauguration, or Mar-a-Lago since Trump won re-election, and said, quote, "Stitt and Trump are good."